Can wholesaling work when you are overseas? Today, we are going to answer that question, and I'm going to give you some tools and helpful tips for having a virtual wholesaling business when you are out of the country. My name is Lauren Hardy, and I am your virtual wholesaling coach. Welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. Today, we're going to talk about being out of the country and wholesaling virtually. Maybe you're on active duty, or maybe you just want to travel the world. You don't want to be locked into one country. Whatever your reason is, wholesaling absolutely works virtually. I have a coaching program, and I have a ton of students that actually do not live in the US. I have a student crushing it from Spain. I have one that is doing so well all the way from India. So I know you can absolutely wholesale from a different country. So in this video, I am going to share with you some of their secrets, some of the things that I've seen them do that help them internationally wholesale. I'm going to give you some of the tools that they use and that you might want to look into if you're looking to wholesale out of the country. I'm going to share with you how they work the different time zones. And I am going to convince you that wholesaling is the absolute career move you want to make if you do not want to stay stationary. So let's get into it. What are the tools you need to virtually wholesale when you are out of the country? The first one that is very important is you want some kind of cloud-based soft phone system. What this is it's basically like having a cell phone that runs over the internet, and you can use it via your laptop computer. Some of them even have apps if you want. You can download the app like on your phone. Here are some examples. You've got CallRail. CallRail has a soft phone system platform. I personally use Google Voice. There's also another app you can get on your phone called Sideline. So those are some examples of cloud-based soft phone systems. You definitely need one of those to be able to work virtually, because you are going to need a local phone number, and those soft phone systems will provide you with a local phone number of your choice. You can actually pick what area code you want to use. Another very obvious tool is you need a computer, you need reliable internet, the typical stuff that you would need even if you were in the United States. That really doesn't change very much. As long as you've got reliable internet so you can use your cloud-based soft phone system, that's super important. I actually have virtual assistants that work on my team, and they talk with sellers. And with reliable internet, a computer, and a soft phone system, they're fine. Our sellers have no idea that they're actually from Mexico or the Philippines. Other tools that might be helpful is you need something to help you comp properties. So I personally love PropStream. I use PropStream to comp properties, get motivated seller lists. I use PropStream a lot, and I will include PropStream's link in the show notes below. If you can't afford PropStream and you don't really want to make that extra monthly payment, Zillow is pretty helpful. You're not going to be able to get motivated seller lists, but you can at least find comps using Zillow, and it's completely free. I use Zillow as well. We definitely will use a combination of Zillow and PropStream, because sometimes not everything pulls up on either or. So we like to have both screens up when we're comping properties. Most of this stuff you would already have if you were wholesaling just locally, if you lived in the US, but just to add on, you want to make sure you have some kind of CRM. CRMs are very important. You definitely want to have a good sales management system where you're keeping track of your leads. This would not change in any way whether you were local or in a different country, but I just thought I would throw that out there. That is also a very, very important tool that you need. But really, the only change in your tools when you are going out of the country would be that cloud-based soft phone type system, like a Google Voice. Next, let's talk about time zones. So unfortunately, you are going to have to work the time zones where your sellers are available to talk. And this does come into as an issue for, some people that are in time zones where it is nighttime when it is daytime in their territory. Unfortunately, if you are the one making those seller calls, you're going to have to work weird hours. But I think that that's a small price to pay for, the financial freedom that you have and the ability to be able to move anywhere you want. You might have to find, chunks of time where you're sleeping and it makes sense to sleep for your time zone and also the time zone of your territory, and you're awake, you know, at times that makes sense. So I personally have some virtual assistants in the Philippines, and there is a chunk of the day, the work day for me, where they're sleeping. But then there's a chunk of the day where they're awake, and they make it work. It's not that big of a deal. They do the tasks that they can do independently, where they don't need to work like as a team in those chunks where it's not our work hours. So you just have to make it work and, you know, fit it into your schedule the best you can. Next, let's talk about why virtual wholesaling is the absolute side hustle or full-time hustle when you do not want to be locked down. You want to be, you know, able to travel the world or move around wherever you want. I always say, live anywhere, invest where you want. And I really do believe that. With virtual wholesaling, I've been able to live anywhere and invest where I want. I can invest and change territories as I see fit. I'm not stuck to one place. And that's ultimate freedom. So when you are maybe somebody who has to move around a lot because you're on active duty and you have to move your family around a lot, you need to make sure that you have a business that's set up to be able to do that. Or, you know, another situation is, what if like your territory doesn't start working out for whatever reason? For example, let's use me, you know, in Oklahoma. They just enacted some laws in Oklahoma that are not very wholesaler friendly. And a lot of wholesalers want to leave. They're a little afraid to do business now because they don't want to get in trouble. Well, if they were virtual, they could just pick up and find another territory to do the same business in, like me. But because a lot of people don't get set up with that virtual model, that virtual mindset, they can't do that. So virtual wholesaling, I mean, it's an absolute must. If you are going to learn how to wholesale, I recommend just figure out a virtual model up front. Whether you're working in your backyard or not, it's a good skill to know because it applies no matter what, whether you're in your backyard or not. And again, I totally know this can be done. I've got coaching students that are all over the world, and they are very, very successful at this. So if this is something where you need some convincing, you don't think it can be done, I assure you it can. I have multiple employees on my team that are virtual. I even let one of my employees, he travels around a lot. He likes to go to different countries, and he's been closing deals from Vietnam. It's crazy. So I absolutely know it's something that can be done. You just need to know all the right, you know, pieces and how to put it all together. And by subscribing to a channel like this where I primarily talk about virtual wholesaling, it's definitely going to help you. But if you do want to get more knowledge and you want to learn more about virtual wholesaling, you want the exact steps on how to do a virtual wholesale deal from start to finish, I definitely want to help you. Check out www.virtualinvestingmastery.com. It's my coaching program, and all we cover is virtual wholesaling. I will get you to that first deal or that 21st deal in that program. So make sure you check that out. I'm definitely obsessed with the virtual model because of the freedom that it has allowed me. I actually have a fantasy of being able to move out of California once my kids are 18. I've got 2 kids, and I've never really felt connected to California. I have family all over, you know, the country. So I've always had this idea that, you know, when I can move, I do want to do that. If my kids, you know, maybe go away to college, I want to pick up and move. I love California. It's okay, but there's definitely some pros and cons. So the fact that, you know, I'm already virtual, I'm not tied to any one area, it's really like life-changing that I'm gonna be able to do that when I'm ready, you know, with my kids and my family. So that's all I gotta say, you know, about it. Hopefully you guys have your questions answered. You feel confident that you can wholesale out of the country. If you have any remaining questions, make sure you put them in the comment section. And if you guys want to learn more about virtual wholesaling, make sure you check out this entire channel. Make sure you subscribe. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video.